The Atlanta Falcons are spiraling, and it's not just another bad Sunday. This is chaos from the top down. The head coach isn't moving. The offensive coordinator isn't improving. And now, Falcons fans are left asking the question nobody wants to say out loud: how much longer can this go on? Because after that press conference, the message was clear: nothing's changing. No staff shakeups. No accountability. Just 8 more weeks of the same pain. There's a heavy feeling hanging over Atlanta right now, like a storm that just won't pass. Falcons fans woke up hoping for good news. Maybe Raheem Morris would finally take action. Maybe Zach Robinson's seat would start to heat up. Maybe, just maybe, this team would admit it needs a change. But instead, we got silence. Raheem Morris stood in front of the media and said it himself: there are no staff changes. And with those 5 words, every Falcons fan knew the truth: this nightmare isn't ending anytime soon. That one sentence told us everything. Terry Fontenot still trusts Raheem. Raheem still trusts his staff. And nobody, not one person, is being held accountable for this disaster of a season. And so here we are. Watching this team stumble week after week. Watching the same offensive mistakes repeat like a broken record. Watching players who care, truly care, give their all while the people running the show refuse to admit it's not working. I said it weeks ago: if Atlanta lost to the Colts in dramatic fashion, both Raheem Morris and Zach Robinson should be gone. But it didn't happen. The Falcons lost, again, and somehow, everyone kept their jobs. You know what that means? 8 more games of misery. 8 more weeks of the same lifeless offense, the same stubborn play calls, the same locker room frustration that keeps building behind closed doors. And here's the part that really hurts: the defense, the one part of this team that's fighting, clawing, and refusing to quit, keeps getting dragged down by the mess around them. Say what you want about the run defense, but they held one of the best offenses in football to 2 of 12 on third downs. That's elite. That's pride. That's heart. These guys, the players on that defense, they deserve better. Because right now, the Falcons aren't losing because of effort. They're losing because of leadership. So yeah, as fans, we've hit every emotion there is: anger, sadness, frustration, and now, acceptance. This is who the Falcons are for now. But it doesn't have to be who they stay. Because the clock's ticking on this coaching staff, and if something doesn't change soon, the Falcons risk losing more than games. They risk losing their players, their future, and the trust of every fan who still believes. Let's be honest, Falcons fans, we're all waiting for that one glorious day. The day this coaching staff is finally shown the door. The day the dark clouds lift, and we can finally breathe again. Because when that happens, the whole city of Atlanta is going to feel it. Fans will be dancing in the streets. The energy, the relief, it'll be electric. But until that day comes, we're stuck in a painful loop, watching a young quarterback with so much potential slowly get dragged down by a broken system. Let's talk about Michael Penix Jr. This was supposed to be our guy. The number 8 overall pick. The big arm. The future of the franchise. But right now, he's not being given a chance to succeed. And honestly, that's on Zach Robinson. We can debate who's more to blame, Penix or Robinson, but the truth is clear: this offense is broken at its core. Even national media is starting to call it out. ESPN's Ben Solak didn't hold back. He said Penix simply hasn't looked like a top 10 pick. Yes, the arm strength is real. The velocity, the quick release, that's what got him drafted. But everything else? It's falling apart under pressure. Penix is ranked 27th out of 33 quarterbacks when blitzed. That means nearly every other QB in the league performs better when the defense comes after them. He freezes. He hesitates. And that hesitation, that split second of doubt, destroys drives. But is that all on him? No. It's hard to move confidently in the pocket when the system around you isn't built to protect you. When your coordinator isn't adjusting. When your receivers aren't getting open. When every play feels like a trap waiting to collapse. You can see it in his body language: the frustration, the confusion, the hesitation. It's not that Penix doesn't care. It's that he's caught in a system that doesn't care about him. This is what happens when coaching fails development. When a young quarterback's confidence is tested before it's ever built. And if this doesn't change soon, if Zach Robinson keeps calling games like this, it's not just this season that's lost, it's the growth of the player you invested your future in. Falcons fans, we've seen this story before. A talented rookie buried under bad coaching and bad leadership. We said it's early, we said give it time. But time is running out. There comes a point in every young quarterback's journey when the pressure stops being just physical, it starts living inside your head. And right now, that's exactly where Michael Penix Jr. finds himself. You can see it in his eyes when the game tightens. You can feel it in his body language when the blitz comes. The confidence that once radiated from him now flickers like a light that's starting to go out. The numbers don't lie, he's struggling. When teams bring pressure, Penix turns into one of the least efficient quarterbacks in the league. The fewest pressures faced, yet some of the highest bad throw percentages. That's not bad luck. That's breakdown. But this isn't all on him. Zach Robinson's offense isn't helping. The scheme feels static, predictable, like it's stuck in neutral while the rest of the league races forward. Other coordinators, Shanahan, Steichen, McDaniels, are out there designing plays that free their receivers, giving their quarterbacks easy reads and rhythm throws. Robinson's system, on the other hand, rarely puts Penix in a position to succeed. The data backs it up, he's barely above league average when it comes to schemed open throws. And when that happens, everything slows down. The communication breaks. The play clock becomes the enemy. How many times have we seen Penix frantically waving at the line of scrimmage with 3 seconds left, trying to audible, trying to get control only for the ball to be snapped in chaos? That's not a quarterback problem. That's an organizational one. So what's the fix? It starts with composure. Michael Penix Jr. needs to reset his foundation, literally. Stop bouncing in the pocket like a kid trying to stay loose at recess. Plant your feet, own your space, trust your arm. The great ones don't panic when the storm closes in, they anchor down and let it pass. Step 2 belongs to Zach Robinson, get the plays in faster. Give your quarterback time to breathe, to read, to feel in control. Confidence doesn't come from talent alone, it comes from rhythm and trust. Then, let's address the weapons. There's no point complaining about limited firepower when you've got untapped potential sitting on your practice squad. Nick Nash. Chris Blair. 2 hungry playmakers waiting for a shot. Blair looked electric in the preseason, Nash has been grinding for this moment. Give them a chance. Sometimes, the spark your offense needs is already standing in your own locker room. And finally, Penix, use your legs. No one's asking you to become Lamar Jackson. But in today's NFL, pocket mobility is survival. Move. Extend the play. Force defenses to think twice before sending the house. The best quarterbacks don't just throw, they escape, they adapt, they create. This offense doesn't need a miracle. It just needs courage. Courage to adjust. Courage to trust. Courage to fight through the noise and rediscover that edge. Because the truth is, the Falcons have the pieces. They just need their quarterback and their coach to remember who they are when the pocket starts to collapse. There's something every great quarterback eventually learns: if you won't move, you better be perfect where you stand. That's the crossroad Michael Penix Jr. is standing at right now. He doesn't have to turn into Bo Nix, sprinting out of the pocket and turning broken plays into highlights. He doesn't need to be a human joystick like Kyler Murray or a magician like Patrick Mahomes. But what he can't be is a statue. The league doesn't forgive statues anymore. Not in 2025. Not with how fast defenses move. If you're not going to beat the blitz with your legs, then you have to carve it apart with your accuracy. Precision becomes your armor. Timing becomes your escape route. And right now, that's where Penix is falling short. The numbers paint the picture clearly: completion percentage over expectation, or CPOE. It's one of those deep dive metrics scouts obsess over because it shows what box scores hide, how well a quarterback performs beyond what the play design gives him. It filters out the noise, dropped passes, play calling, busted coverages, and reveals the truth about a quarterback's decision-making and ball placement. And the truth for Penix? He's near the bottom. Fifth least accurate in the league by that measure. That's not just a cold stat, it's a sign that something's missing inside the pocket. The rhythm. The trust. The calm. He has every physical gift you could ask for: size, strength, arm power, but right now, those gifts are being wasted by hesitation. The great ones see the field like it's slowing down. Penix needs to reach that point. He needs to breathe again when he drops back, not panic when the first read disappears. Because until he does, every drive feels like a coin toss, not a plan. But the cracks go deeper than just one player. There's tension in the air, quiet but heavy, inside the Falcons organization. The kind of silence that usually means decisions are being whispered behind closed doors. Word around the league is that ownership and the front office have already started talking about the next step. Not publicly. Not officially. But privately, the future is being discussed. If that's true, it raises a haunting question: if you've already decided to move on, why wait? Why let uncertainty hang over your team's head? When leadership wavers, everyone feels it: players, coaches, even fans. That's the reality in Atlanta right now. A talented team trapped in hesitation. A young quarterback searching for balance. A coaching staff staring down a storm that's already on the horizon. And yet, there's still time. There's still fight. There's still a spark somewhere beneath the frustration. Because in this league, all it takes is one game, one drive, to remind everyone who you really are. The Falcons don't need a miracle. They need conviction. They need leadership that acts instead of waits. And they need a quarterback who stops flinching at the rush and starts trusting the moment again.